You know you owe back taxes to the IRS, but you haven't heard from them in a while. No threatening letters, no nasty phone calls, no liens, no surprise levies, no garnishments. Maybe they forgot about you. Maybe you just slipped through the cracks. Or maybe your case is so small that they have bigger things to worry about. You may have heard that the government only has a certain amount of time to collect those taxes before you somehow get away without paying the tax debt, or at least not paying it in full. But how much time do they have to collect? And when exactly does this countdown begin? Is it the same period for everyone? Are there any exceptions? How long does the IRS have to collect back taxes? That's the topic of today's video on the other side of the break.
1-877 Levy King, Levy Levy King, 1-877 Levy King, LevyKing.com.
What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax, and they call me the Levy King because I have helped thousands of clients with unfiled returns, back taxes, tax liens, and that's right, IRS levies. If the IRS took your check, the Levy King will get it back. 1-877 Levy King, LevyKing.com. I'm also the author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Inside the book, I'll show you how to stop IRS levies, liens, and garnishments without paying the tax in full. How to set up the payment plan you want and not the one that they want. And how to potentially settle your tax debt for less than you actually owe. My book has been a top seller on Amazon for years, and you can buy it right now for $19.99. But I want to give you a copy of the book absolutely free. Just go over to my website, www.endthetaxnightmare.com, enter your name and I'll email and I'll send you a copy right away. No charge, not even for shipping, totally free. Before we go any further with the video, I'd like you to take a moment to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Okay, let's dive into today's content. Whenever someone asks me how long the IRS has to collect, I know that what they're really wondering is how long before I can be sure that I'm safe from the IRS, even though I haven't paid my taxes. If you look around the internet or talk to your crazy uncle at Thanksgiving dinner, you'll find a lot of information and misinformation about when the IRS can collect from you and how long they have to collect before it's too late. So let's set the record straight right here. The IRS generally has 10 years to collect back taxes, and anything they don't collect within that 10-year period becomes uncollectible. The date upon which the tax debt becomes uncollectible is known as the Collection Statute Expiration Date, or C.S.E.D. The C.S.E.D begins the countdown from the date that the tax is assessed. The assessed date is the date that the IRS records the debt on its books. That's usually going to be the date you file the return, although not always. Okay. Now, almost anything that stops the IRS from collecting the debt that is owed will push back the C.S.E.D date. Common examples include requesting an installment agreement, requesting an offer in compromise, a collection due process hearing, or a bankruptcy filing. First up is installment agreements. Section 6331 of the Internal Revenue Code prevents the IRS from taking any enforced collection action against you while an installment agreement is pending or for at least 30 days after its termination. Every time you set up an installment agreement, that's a new tolling event, which pushes back your C.S.E.D date. If you default on the installment agreement and then set up another one, that also pushes back the C.S.E.D. Next up is the offer in compromise. When you submit an OIC, the C.S.E.D date is also pushed back by 30 days. That also includes 30 days after the IRS rejects your offer, and also 30 days after an OIC is defaulted. Months or even years can pass between the time you submit the offer and when it is actually accepted or declined. The C.S.E.D is tolled the entire time. Therefore, it is important to write solid offers with a good chance of being accepted so you don't unnecessarily extend the C.S.E.D date. If the IRS rejects your offer, your installment agreement or your offer, you can appeal by requesting a collection due process hearing. If you request a CDP hearing, the C.S.E.D date is extended from the date the hearing request is received through as long as the CDP is pending and for at least 30 days thereafter. Like an offer, the CDP process can take several months or even a year. A CDP hearing request can be a good strategy to stop IRS collections, but you need to know how and when to use it. Frivolous use of the CDP process could keep you entangled with the IRS for longer than necessary. Now, if you don't like the outcome of your CDP hearing, you can appeal to the U.S. Tax Court. A tax court petition will toll the C.S.E.D date for as long as it takes the tax court case to resolve, plus an additional 30 to 90 days. Another tolling event is bankruptcy. If you file a bankruptcy, the C.S.E.D is tolled for as long as the automatic stay prohibits the government from collecting, plus an additional 6 months thereafter. Now, I know what you're thinking. If I file for bankruptcy, won't that get rid of the tax debt? So who cares about the C.S.E.D? Well, tax debts very often survive bankruptcy. So you may come out of the bankruptcy still owing the IRS. But now with the C.S.E.D that has been pushed back several months or even years, you may have the idea that you can simply wait on the C.S.E.D and get away with not paying the IRS. Waiting on the C.S.E.D to expire can sometimes be a sound strategy, but in other situations, it can be like playing a game of chicken. You see, there are a couple of things you should be aware of when the C.S.E.D is near. Before the C.S.E.D expires, the government can file a lawsuit against you to foreclose on a tax lien and or reduce the tax debt to a formal judgment. If they do this, the C.S.E.D becomes irrelevant and the IRS can continue to come after you even after the 10-year time period has already passed. The other deal is that the closer you get to the C.S.E.D date, the more aggressive the IRS will become in its collection efforts. So as the date gets closer, you can expect additional liens, levies, phone calls, and if your balance is high enough, an actual in-person visit with an IRS revenue officer may be in the cards. That person has the power to seize property, among other things. So, as you can see, there are a lot of moving parts to consider when you owe back taxes and you're trying to determine how long before you're safe from the IRS. If you owe back taxes to the IRS or the state, I want you to know that there are special programs in place to help you get a fresh start and get out from under this tax debt. But how do you know if you qualify? You see, no two cases are exactly alike. So how do you know exactly how much you can settle for? Well, lucky for you, I've created a free tool to help get you qualified for a fresh start. Just head over to www.levyking.com or click the link below. Follow the prompts and answer a few questions and we'll help you to figure out your eligibility. That website again is www.levyking.com, or you can give us a call at 1-877-LEVY-KING. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Talk to you later. Bye.